Hi, my name is Dana Drenner, and I will be speaking to you about Britain and Walmart, and Britain's decision to leave the European Union, or EU as it is commonly called. Brexit, as most are aware, is just a cute way of putting Britain and exit in the same, as if to form one word to describe what's going on in Britain. So Brexit, again, it's Britain's decision to leave the European Union. It's a union consisting of 28 members that will be 27 members. Here are a list of the 28 current European Union member countries. It's an economic and political partnership that allows for a single market. It's probably the greatest effect that the formation of the EU has done. The single market economy allows goods, services, and people to move about easily. The European Union has its own currency, the euro, used by only 19 of the 28 countries. The other 9 countries use their own currency. And the United Kingdom is one of those countries that continue to use their own currency, which is the British. So why did Britain decide to leave? The biggest and probably largest reason why was immigration. Those in favor of Britain's decision to exit the EU cited that immigrants in the UK there's about 13% of the population. This takes away from programs such as healthcare, puts a strain on education, and also those in favor of the exit said that it takes jobs away from British citizens and also keeps wages in Britain low. Uh, there's a feeling of a loss of autonomy. They felt like they were held back from innovation and competition as EU rules and regulations made it difficult for Britain to come up with its own strategy and move forward in the way that they wanted to for their country. And there's a pretty huge cost of membership. In 2014, the UK paid $16.3 billion to be a member of the EU. That's a pretty high membership. Walmart does have retail units in the UK, and Walmart, of all the stocks, the 30 stocks on the Dow Jones Index, Walmart was the only one that has shown actually a slight increase, while other so this is taken from the Walmart corporate website. Walmart Worldwide in the UK, Walmart has over 11,500 retail units under 63 different banners in 28 countries. They employ 2.3 million associates around the world. 1.5 million of those are in the US alone. Walmart has a big footprint in the United States. In the United Kingdom, Walmart purchased Asda in 1999, and in recent years they have grown Asda to become Britain's second largest supermarket. Total retail units for Asda is 625. That's just over 5% of Walmart's total retail units. Not really a whole lot of stores, not a whole lot of retail units when you can. So again, just over 5% of their Walmart's retail units operate in the UK. And really the UK, though it's ranked 5th globally as a global market, it's relatively small when you compare it to North America and China. And Walmart is a discount retailer. As a discount retailer, when there's economic trouble, people are worried about money and want to pinch pennies, they go to discount stores to try to save money. And as a discount retailer, it's thought of more of as a defensive stock. So when investors don't want to take as much risk and they want to put their money in something less risky and more defensive, they'll put their money and invest into A real quick SWOT analysis for Brexit at Walmart. Again, they are the world's largest retailer, gives them a huge competitive advantage over other retailers globally, and they have their own supply chain. They have their own warehouses, their own hub centers, their own trucking, and their own shipping. This gives them the ability to negotiate prices, to move things the way they see fit to move, and they have a very strong infrastructure. The total number of stores, the small percentage of stores in the UK, is also a strength. If things do go bad for Walmart in the UK, they're not going to lose a ton of money. And again, it is a defensive stock. Some weaknesses: discount stores such as Walmart, there is a definite image associated with stores like that. So image is a big thing. However, when people are worried about money, image isn't such a big deal as much as saving some pennies. A supply chain could also be a weakness, just because nobody knows what's going to happen with Brexit. No one knows until negotiations starts for Britain to leave the European Union. Nobody knows how the border and border crossings and commerce between nations will pan out. Some opportunities: as the UK market gets more difficult, as people lose jobs, as immigrants leave the UK, people again will want to save money, and the UK will have an opportunity to get more autonomy and to negotiate new trade negotiations and treaties, both with other countries and with corporations such as Walmart. Real threats: political and economic effects, the changes in border policy with politicians, leaders change. As leaders change, policies change. Walmart will have to keep a close eye out on how all that plays out. And maybe one of the biggest threats is that the UK could be left out of upcoming EU treaties and new trade negotiations. There are some coming down. One is the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, or TTIP, where the United States and the EU are negotiating to kind of create their own single market where the trading of goods, services will become much easier. The UK may be left out of that and will be forced to negotiate their own trade policies with not only the United States but also So what should Walmart do? Well, the current situation is pretty favorable for Walmart. Again, when people want to save money, they go to discount retailers. Walmart hasn't saturated the market in the UK like they are in the US, and they're going to really have to keep a watch on the economic situation, and they need to try to forecast and follow how the politics will guide policy. And for them, for a strategic plan, it really needs to be quite fluid. They need to be in a position to change direction as the negotiations go on and um, the directions of the negotiation change. They could also look at creating new hubs outside of Britain. A lot of international commerce goes through the UK, including Britain, on their way to other EU nations. One place to really look at would be Ireland. Companies like Morgan Stanley have taken 2,000 of their staff and they've relocated into Dublin, Ireland, and Frankfurt, Germany, and they pulled out of Britain. Um, so that's kind of my little spiel on Walmart and Brexit. Again, just for Walmart and probably every company who does commerce with the UK and the EU, they really will need to stay fluid and be able to change their strategic plan for that area as policies and trade negotiations go. Uh, the UK has 2 years to completely exit out of the EU. And during those 2 years, they will be negotiating everything from trade to borders, whether or not to continue to use the current British slash European Union passport, or if they will change passports. A lot has to be negotiated and thought about during negotiations. Well, thank you, and that's my presentation, so thank you very much.